Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's now a great pleasure to welcome the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, for his opening statement.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, first of all, I'd like to welcome all the participants of the World Urban Forum in Baku and wish the forum success. We have probably the record number of registered participants. This morning I got information that we have more than 45,000 registered participants from 182 countries. So this is the second biggest international event ever held in Azerbaijan after COP29, which was held 1.5 years ago. And I hope that the outcome of the WUF 13 will be as successful as COP29. I think that during these days in Baku, many of our guests who visited us for the first time will have opportunity to know our country, our city better, and to see with their own eyes what is being done in Azerbaijan with respect to urban development. Azerbaijan is situated between Europe and Asia, and always was and is the place where East meets West. And this also is reflected in our country's architecture. So if you walk inside the ancient walls of the old city of Baku and just cross the street, you will find yourself in absolutely modern surroundings of Baku Boulevard, which used to be free and now is more than 15 kilometers of the seaside promenade area. And next to that are the buildings of 19th century, which were designed and built by European architects. So this natural harmony in Baku between old and new, between the preservation of our historical heritage and need for urban planning and modernization, really is a vivid demonstration of the talent of our ancestors and how we are preserving our historical and architectural heritage. Urban planning, not only for Baku, but for many cities of Azerbaijan, is something which we are working on a daily basis. This year, by my decree, was declared the year of urban planning. I'd like to express gratitude to UN Habitat for their support in organization of this event, for cooperation, and for entrusting us with this very responsible duty to be a host of WUF 13. Since 2022, we, together with UN Habitat, held 3 national urban fora in Azerbaijan, in Agdam, Zengilan, and Khankendi, the cities which were under occupation for many years. And today, organizing the global gathering, we once again demonstrate our strong commitment to urban planning, urban development, to our agenda to make life of the people better and to provide our population with all necessary means in order to feel themselves comfortably. Not only Baku, but many of Azerbaijani ancient cities can be proud of their architecture. I will name just some of them. Shamakhi, once the capital of the state of Shirvanshah, the birthplace of the great Azerbaijani poet of 14th century, Nasimi, has one of the oldest mosques in the world, which was built in 743. Nakhchivan, once the capital of the state of Atabeks, the birthplace of the great Azerbaijani architect Ajami Nakhchivani, has the monument built by him, which is called Mamina Khatun Mausoleum, dated 12th century. Ganja, one of the oldest cities in the world, the birthplace of another great Azerbaijani poet, Nizami Gencevi, of 12th century, today is developing at the same time like Baku, preserving its historical look. Gabala and Shiki, the capital and one of the main cities of state of Caucasian Albania, have numerous historical monuments, and the church in the village of Kish near Shiki is probably one of the oldest in the world. Another example of the talent of our ancestors is the village of Lahich. 15 centuries ago, when the village was created, the people built the sewage system and water pipeline, which is functional today. The crown of Karabakh, Shusha, which was under occupation for almost 30 years, now is being reconstructed from almost scratch, and its damaged fortress have been restored. All what I mentioned, and of course Baku with its 6th century maiden tower, all these monuments not only have been built by our ancestors, not only survived invasions, devastations, destructions, and being rebuilt and restored by different generations of Azerbaijanis, but are also preserved today. And all of those which I mentioned, everyone can go, see, get inside, and touch. And I think this is the best indication of our attitude to our historical heritage, to our legacy. We are proud of it, proud of our ancient history, which is reflected not only in our music, poems, but also in architecture. And our duty is to preserve it for the next generations. And the next generation will do the same, I'm sure. And today, with all understanding about the necessity of urban development, especially in the capital cities, we must be brave and cautious. I sometimes compare it with a Formula One race in Baku, which, by the way, is one of the few races which is a city circuit. So the speed on the main speedy street is more than 300 kilometers per hour, and then the pilots have to push the brake and squeeze their bullets into a street with a 7 meters width, just 1 meter next to the ancient city wall. So the pilots must be brave and cautious as the leaders, as those who make decisions and those who have agenda of development. We must be brave in development, in creation of better conditions for our people, in modernization, but at the same time very cautious when it comes to the preservation of our historical heritage. One of the main tasks for our government now is the reconstruction of Karabakh and Eastern Zengezur, the area which was under Armenian occupation for 30 years and which suffered a total destruction and devastation. International observers and visitors compared, for instance, Aghdam with Hiroshima. They called it the Hiroshima of the Caucasus, because the city just did not exist. They were totally leveled to ground, and unlike Hiroshima, it was done not in one day as a result of atomic bomb, but it was done during 30 years of occupation when the buildings, historical buildings, and public buildings and houses were just dismantled, completely destroyed. So now the program of big return is being implemented, and the master plans for cities and villages are prepared. I can, of course, bring a lot of figures, but will only bring two. The length of the tunnels which we are building now in 5 years. 70 kilometers have already been built, 5 more to be built, 435 bridges have been built out of 500. So this was done along with power stations, along with water supply, water storages, houses, schools, hospitals, free international airports, railroads, and this was done only in 5 years. And this is how the owners of the land behave, unlike those who come only to demolish, to destroy, and to bring sufferings. Today, more than 85,000 of Azerbaijanis already live in the former occupied territories. They work, they live, they study, and their employment is also one of the important targets in front of our government. So prior to building the apartments and private houses for them, schools and hospitals, of course, we have to do demining, but at the same time, we have to think about employment. So numerous industrial zones which are already created and will be created in those areas definitely will support the rapid return of hundreds of thousands of people who were deprived from their fundamental right to live on their own land. Talking about Baku, a couple of things more. We had to do a lot of environmental works. Baku was the first city in the world where the oil was produced back in 1846. And throughout these 180 years, almost all these years, there was zero respect to environmental protection. So Baku was heavily polluted. And if I name some parts of Baku, like Black City, Bibieybat, Berkshire, maybe for foreigners it doesn't mean anything, but if you have time to visit these places and to have some video footage or pictures how they looked, say 20 years ago, and how they look now, you will see what has been done in order to create environmentally friendly space in Baku. Instead of Black City, which was heavily polluted, and that is why it was called Black City, today we have White City, the model of urban development. It's a city inside the city. Another demonstration of urban development is a resort city, Sea Breeze, and I highly recommend our visitors to go there, especially those who like to swim in cold water. I know some of them there in this hall, to go just to see another example of the modern urban development. In the last 20 years, we created 100 parks and square gardens in Baku, and 19 have been totally renovated. Environmentally friendly cities with quick access to public transportation, micromobility, underground, modern buses which generate their power from electricity. All that is being done as a whole concept for the capital. And not only capital. As I said, in many parts of Azerbaijan, the urban development goes very rapidly. And definitely this important gathering and expertise of our friends from United Nations and numerous guests who visit us will help all of us to learn more, to learn from each other, to learn positive experience, and also to talk about our mistakes. There have been many mistakes made in the process of development, but I think that period is already in the past. Don't want to take much of your time. I can also speak as a guide for Baku, but I think better will be for you to see everything with your own eyes. I wish all the guests pleasant stay in Baku and the World Urban Forum success. Thank you.